What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is May 7th of 2024. I'm here back in southeastern Pennsylvania. These waters aren't necessarily local to me. It's about a half-hour drive to get here, maybe a little more. But it's a sunny day. It was supposed to be gloomy and rainy, but the sun decided to peek through, and now we're gonna get some fishing done. So it is a little past 8 in the morning right now, probably around 8:15, and we are at this creek. At points in the year it is stocked with trout. There's not too many people fishing, so that's not a good sign that there's any trout in here, but that doesn't mean there's no trout in here. So that is what we're going to be after today, at least our main target species, but we'll take anything that bites, really. So we have our ultralight here. It's a 6-foot medium light ugly stick elite. On the reel we got the Shimano Sedona 2500 HG. Line is Leland S.O.S trout line, 4-pound monofilament. I got to get this re-spooled soon. I'll probably re-spool it myself with probably go 2-pound line this time. And we got the classic Leland trout magnet with that 1/64 ounce dark jig head. I've been trying to mix it up and use different lures, but every time the trout magnet just pulls through. If you guys tuned into last week's episode, I was fishing another creek in southeastern PA. I was using a bunch of different lures trying to get fish to bite, and I was just having no luck at all, really. And then I switched back to the trusty trout magnet, and my luck changed for the better. I ended up catching some nice trout in that video. So yeah, basically what we're going to be doing is casting around these different holes and pockets that are along this creek and seeing if there's any trout that are left in here. If not, then I'll try and switch up to a different spot. But I was here 2022 around this time of year, and I ended up catching some nice fish out of here, so we'll see. All right guys, this is the picture perfect trout hole right in here, and this is actually the hole that produced the majority of my fish when I was here in 2022. So let's throw a few casts in here and see if there's anything lingering. Let's get that trout magnet in there and do our slow jigging and see if we can come up with a fish here. There's a fish. That is not the fish we were after, though. That is a fall fish. There he is. Pretty guy. Go ahead and take a picture of this one, and then we're gonna let him go. Alright, we got our little fall fish unhooked here. Now we're just gonna let him back in the water. He is good to go. Not a trout, but we got the skunk off for the day, so we will take that. There's gotta be a trout in here somewhere, though. Well guys, I officially missed my first trout, and that one felt the hook pretty good, I think, so I don't think we'll be hooking into that one again. Pretty deep hole here. You would think there'd be at least something held over in here. If you look on the ground, though, there is tons of footprints, which is not a good sign. It means that this hole has been pretty pressured. Well, after that one fall fish, I haven't had very much luck at all. I popped to a number of these different little runs and deep pockets here. I've seen some stock trout in there, but they just don't want to bite at all. Doesn't seem like there's very many of them either. The sun is getting higher and higher in the sky as the day goes on. It is approximately 10:07 in the morning right now. In an effort to change my luck around for today, I'm gonna hop down to the other side of this creek here and see if we can give that a shot. I believe that end might be a little less pressured, and a little less accessible, but I believe it's still stocked with fish this time of year, so maybe we'll have a chance at some trout there. But this spot right now isn't doing it for me, so I'm gonna get out of here and I'll meet you guys at the next spot. Well, I tried to make the drive back to the other side, upper end of the creek I was at, I guess you could call, and that ended up not working out very good at all. The road was closed for construction, so I couldn't even fish where I wanted to fish. But not wanting to give in, I drove 30 minutes back to my local waters. So here we are, and we are going to try and catch some fish. I have no idea if this was stocked recently at all, so we're just going to make some casts and see if we can get bites. And I get snagged on the first cast. That's great. Come on, fish. Here we go. Oh, he popped off. Dang it. Hopefully that wasn't the only one in the hole. Our hook has bent out a little bit, so let's fix that. There's a fish. Fish on. Keep the pressure on him. Don't come off, 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 don't come off. Yes. That there, fellas, is a brook trout. Our first brook trout of the year. Whew. This is a little guy, but he's got a wide body to him. Good stuff right there. Alright guys, there's our brook trout. We're going to get him unhooked here, and then we're going to let him back in the water. Alright, fish is unhooked. Nice and easy. There he goes. Off to swim another day. On the trout magnet. This one a little bit of a clearish pattern with some sparkles in it. See if there's another fish or two in that hole, but that's a good sign that there's brook trout in here, because that probably means it was stocked recently, because when I fished this a few days after opening day, every single fish I was catching was a brown trout, no brook trout. So the fact that the first fish we pulled out of here was a brook trout is a good sign, but the question is just how long ago were these fish stocked? Will we find a lot or a little? I'm thinking it's going to be in between. That was what I was hoping for today, is to catch my first brook trout of the year. When I was at that first spot in this video in 2022, I caught 4 or 5 brook trout out of there that day. I usually catch them pretty good out of here too when they're stocked in here. There we go. There's another fish for the day. Little rock bass. Just a tiny little guy, but it's another species for the day, our third species. Came over here to unsnag my lure, but figured I would make a cast down next to this uprooted tree here, and we got ourselves a little rock bass. Let's go ahead and let him go. There's a fish. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy. It's another fall fish. Not a trout. There he is. Yet another fall fish. These things are everywhere. Alright, let's see if we can find a fish in here. There we go, guys. That's a fish. Get up here. It's a brown trout. In the net he goes. And just like that, we have our second trout of the day. And another species. Alright, let's take a shot and let's release this guy. Alright, we got a hand on our brown trout here. Let's get him unhooked here. Right on the top of the mouth there. Pretty little guy. Go ahead and... oh, he's good to go. Casting a gold trout magnet just a bit upstream. Following this run, there's a rock upstream about probably 15 feet from where I'm standing. I cast it along that rock and just let it drift down in that current there, and that brown trout was hiding out waiting for a meal, and that's what produced that fish. Let's try that cast again and see if we can have any other luck with that. Oh, just made that a bite there. Initially when I caught that fish, I was like snagged on a rock, or at least bumped a rock, and I think that trout may have saved me from getting snagged. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to have to be the conclusion of today's video. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch a rainbow trout to complete the trout trifecta, if you will, but not a terrible day of fishing overall. I made the drive this morning to fish a creek that I don't typically fish too much, but I've had good success there in the past, and that just did not work out this morning. I only caught one fall fish the whole time I was there, which is pretty bad. I saw some trout there, but they were just not taking anything that I was throwing. Tried moving up to another spot along that creek, and the road was closed to construction, so I drove all the way back to my home waters, and things changed. The first fish I got here was my first brook trout of the year, so that was pretty cool. And then we ended up with a rock bass, a handful of fall fish, and then there we ended with a brown trout. So not a bad day species wise, but the trout action could have been a lot better. So sorry if today's video was a little slow, not as action packed, but we did still catch some fish today. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ville Outdoors. Hopefully we can do a little more trout fishing before things warm up too much, but things are probably going to be winding down towards the end of this month as far as trout goes, and then we'll have to figure things out from there. Do some more life listings, some more multi-species creek fishing. We'll see how things turn out. All right, so I will see you guys next time.